Jennifer and her cat Oliver were inseparable for years until the poor feline got sick and the vet recommended he be put down. Jennifer hugged her best friend for the last time before surrendering him to the doctor, but that's when the vet noticed something odd about the cat and immediately stopped the procedure. With a heavy heart, Jennifer set out for the animal hospital, knowing that day marked the D-Day for her beloved cat. As she walked through the doors of the clinic, a sense of dread hung heavy in the air. The receptionist greeted her with a sympathetic smile and directed her to the waiting area. Time seemed to slow as Jennifer sat clutching Oliver in her arms, her mind filled with memories of their time together. Minutes turned into hours, and finally, the veterinarian's assistant approached, her expression somber but compassionate. She guided Jennifer and Oliver to an examination room where they waited anxiously for the vet to arrive. As the veterinarian entered, Jennifer's heart sank. With trembling hands, she recounted how Oliver's health had continued to decline. Not only was the cat in pain, but she was in pain as well. It was time to accept the doctor's graceful offer of a quick, painless, and dignified death for her best friend to ease his suffering once and for all. The vet, Dr. Williams, nodded in understanding. He hated putting down animals, especially beloved pets, but he hated seeing them suffer even more. Poor Oliver had been a loyal patient for years, but his health had declined terribly in the past few months. Dr. Williams couldn't bear to see him like this. He could only imagine the pain Jennifer was feeling, so he told her he would leave her the time to say goodbye while he went to fetch the syringe that would put such a loyal friendship to an end. As the doctor left the room, Jennifer hugged her dying cat, burying his furry little head in her neck as tears streamed down her cheeks. She whispered words of love and gratitude, feeling the warmth of her cat's fur against her skin. Oliver's eyes were wet with tears too. It was as if the cat knew what was about to happen. Dr. Williams found them like this and hesitated on the threshold for a few seconds, unwilling to interrupt this loving moment. But then he noticed something odd about the cat. Oliver's eyes, normally a bright green, had changed to an unusual yellowish color. His curiosity was piqued, and he took a step closer to examine the cat more closely. That's when he saw it. A mild redness in the cat's face, particularly around the cheeks and nose. It was subtle but unmistakable. Dr. Williams's mind raced with possibilities, and then he made a mental note to investigate further. For now, though, he simply cleared his throat and spoke. "Jennifer, we can't put him down." His voice sounded just as surprised as he was. Jennifer's heart skipped a beat as she struggled to comprehend the sudden turn of events. She sat stunned in silence, her mind reeling from the unexpected development. She had prepared herself for the heartache of saying goodbye to Oliver and couldn't grasp the possibility that she might get a few more weeks, months, or even years with him after all. She had known for a while that Oliver wasn't feeling well. Despite her deep love for her furry friend, she couldn't ignore the signs of his declining health. Oliver, once sprightly and full of energy, had become a shadow of his former self. His once playful demeanor had been replaced by moments of lethargy and discomfort. It pained Jennifer to see Oliver struggle with each passing day, his joints stiff and swollen with arthritis. Even his appetite had waned, and she could feel the weight of his frail body in her arms. Despite her longing to spend more time with him, she couldn't bear to watch him suffer. And so, with a heavy heart, she had agreed with the agonizing decision to end Oliver's pain, believing it to be the kindest choice she could make. But now, faced with the veterinarian's unexpected reversal, doubt crept into her mind. "Is this the right decision?" Jennifer's voice trembled as she posed the question to the veterinarian, her eyes searching for reassurance. Dr. Williams met her gaze with a mixture of compassion and determination. "I want to try something. If it works, you'll get your cat back happy and healthy as he once was. If it doesn't, we'll meet back here in a week." Jennifer's eyes widened at the thought of having more time with her beloved friend. She would do anything to make Oliver healthy and happy again, and she told the vet she would follow his directions to AT. With a gentle smile, the doctor advised Jennifer to take Oliver home and bring him back in a week. He also suggested discontinuing the medication that had brought little relief to Oliver's pain. Jennifer was confused. Was she meant to discontinue all medication, even the pills she had been giving him before he got so sick? Dr. Williams himself had prescribed those to help with her transition into middle age, promising they would help him adjust to the inevitable changes in his life. "All of them," the doctor nodded. "I have a hunch and I want to see if I'm right." Though still in shock at the veterinarian's words, Jennifer felt a glimmer of hope ignite within her heart. Perhaps, she realized, there was still time for one last adventure, one last cuddle, one last moment of joy with her beloved Oliver. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose, Jennifer cradled Oliver close, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat beneath her fingertips. As they made their way home, she whispered words of love and gratitude, knowing that their journey together was not over. In the days that followed, Jennifer immersed herself in every moment with Oliver, savoring the simple joys of companionship and love. Discontinuing the medicine seemed wrong, but she had promised Dr. Williams she would do anything he said, and so she stopped lacing Oliver's food with crushed pills. The first 3 days were pretty uneventful, but on the 4th morning, Oliver woke her up with a soft purr and a gentle meow, demanding to be fed and perhaps even cuddled. Jennifer's eyes filled with tears at the sight of her old cat finally enjoying a walk around the house again. Oliver even spent a whole hour hunting a fly, displaying remarkable energy for a cat who had been on the brink of death for weeks. It truly did look like his health had taken a turn for the better, just like the doctor had predicted. Jennifer couldn't be happier, but despite her efforts to remain hopeful, a nagging sense of uncertainty lingered in the back of her mind. She couldn't shake the fear that the veterinarian might change his mind, that their newfound reprieve would be short-lived. And so, she treasured each precious moment with Oliver, determined to make the most of whatever time they had left together. When the week had passed, Jennifer found herself once again standing outside the doors of the animal hospital, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. With Oliver in her arms, she stepped inside, her eyes scanning the familiar surroundings for any sign of the veterinarian. Dr. Williams greeted them with a warm smile, his eyes alight with curiosity and excitement. Jennifer couldn't help but notice the subtle change in his demeanor, a sense of hopefulness that mirrored her own, as they settled into the examination room. Jennifer couldn't contain her excitement as she recounted the remarkable improvement in Oliver's health. Gone were the days of endless pain and discomfort. Instead, Oliver seemed to radiate with newfound vitality and energy. Dr. Williams listened intently, his expression thoughtful as he observed Oliver with a keen eye. After a thorough examination, he nodded in approval, his smile widening with each passing moment. "It's truly remarkable," he said. "Oliver's progress is nothing short of miraculous." Jennifer couldn't suppress the flood of emotions that washed over her at his words. Relief, gratitude, and sheer disbelief mingled together in her heart, filling her with a sense of wonder and joy. But amidst this celebration, she couldn't shake the burning question that lingered in her mind. "What changed?" she asked, her voice trembling with curiosity. "What made Oliver's health improve so drastically?" As Dr. Williams's smile began to fade, a hint of concern crept into his eyes. "To be honest, Jennifer, I'm not entirely sure what's behind Oliver's sudden improvement." He paused, his gaze drifting to the cat. "But I do have a theory." "What is it?" Jennifer asked as she leaned forward. Dr. Williams's expression turned serious. "I suspect that the medications I prescribed initially may have done more harm than good." Jennifer's brow furrowed in confusion. "But I thought those pills were supposed to help Oliver with the transition into middle age." The veterinarian's face turned grim. "That's what we thought, Jennifer. But what if I told you that I've seen similar cases where cats experienced a sudden decline in health after taking those very same medications?" Jennifer's eyes widened in shock as the vet went on. "I believe that the pills intended to alleviate symptoms of old age may actually have been the ones causing health issues for poor Oliver. What I don't know is whether the pharmaceutical company was aware of these possible side effects and chose to sweep them under the rug." Jennifer's mind raced with the implications. Could it be true? Had she unknowingly put her beloved cat in harm's way? Her heart pounded in her chest as she absorbed the veterinarian's words. The room seemed to close in around her, the sterile smell of antiseptics and the soft hum of medical equipment amplifying her rising anxiety. Oliver, oblivious to the gravity of the situation, continued to purr contentedly, rubbing his head against her hand. "How can we be sure?" Jennifer asked, her voice trembling. "I don't want to jump to conclusions, but if there is even a chance that those pills hurt Oliver, we need to know." Dr. Williams nodded, his expression resolute. "I agree. We've already taken the first step, which was stopping the medication. I'll now conduct a series of tests to analyze Oliver's current health status and see if there are any lingering effects from the pills. I'll also reach out to my colleagues, gathering information from other cases, and then cross-reference the data. If my suspicions are correct, we'll have enough evidence to confront the pharmaceutical company. Jennifer felt a surge of determination. What can I do to help? Dr. Williams smiled faintly. We'll need to document Oliver's recovery in detail. Keep a journal of his daily behavior, eating habits, and any other changes you notice. I'll also reach out to those whose pets are on the same medication. The more data we have, the stronger our case will be. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Jennifer meticulously documented every aspect of Oliver's behavior, noting his improved appetite, increased energy, and the gradual disappearance of his symptoms. Dr. Williams conducted more tests, carefully monitoring Oliver's progress and comparing it to his earlier health records. He also reached out to his colleagues and to others whose cats had been prescribed the same medication, and they confirmed that they had noticed similar declines in their pets' health. Others who had lost their beloved companions were eager to understand why and volunteered to help as well. One evening, Jennifer sat at her kitchen table going over her notes, and the information she had gathered when the sudden ringing of her phone startled her. It was Dr. Williams. "I've completed the initial round of tests," he said, his tone grave, "and I'm afraid my suspicions were correct. Oliver's test results show that he was being affected by exposure to certain chemicals found in the medication. I compared these findings with the data from other cases, and the pattern is unmistakable." Jennifer's heart sank. "What do we do now?" "We take this to the authorities," the doctor replied. "But first, we need to confront the pharmaceutical company. We have to give them a chance to explain themselves, though I suspect they won't be forthcoming." The following week, Dr. Williams and Jennifer arranged a meeting with representatives from the pharmaceutical company, Animal Health Incorporated. They presented their findings, laying out the evidence of the medication's harmful side effects. The company's representatives listened, their expressions ranging from skeptical to concerned. "This is a serious accusation," said Mr. Kent, the company's lead representative. "We will need to conduct our own investigation before taking any action." "We understand," Dr. Williams replied, "but we urge you to suspend the sale of this medication until the investigation is complete. The lives of countless pets could be at risk." The meeting ended on a tense note, with no clear resolution. Jennifer left feeling both hopeful and anxious. She knew that she had done the right thing, but she also feared that the company would prioritize profits over the well-being of pets. The following morning, Dr. Williams and Jennifer resumed their daily routines with a sense of unease lingering in the air. They had made the responsible choice, yet the uncertainty of what Animal Health Incorporated would decide weighed heavily on their minds. Dr. Williams tried to immerse himself in his work at the clinic, while Jennifer continued her research, seeking out more evidence to support their findings. It was around mid-afternoon when the doctor received an unexpected call from Mr. Kent. "Dr. Williams, we need to meet again. Can you and Jennifer come to our headquarters tomorrow at 10 a.m.? This matter requires immediate attention," Mr. Kent said. "Of course, we'll be there," Dr. Williams replied, his heart racing. He immediately called Jennifer to inform her of the new development. "They want to meet us again tomorrow. It seems urgent." The next 24 hours passed in a blur of anxiety and speculation. When they arrived at Animal Health Incorporated's sleek, imposing headquarters the next morning, they were ushered into a spacious conference room. Mr. Kent and several other executives were already seated, their faces impassive. "Thank you for coming on such short notice," Mr. Kent began. "We've reviewed your findings and discussed them extensively. However, our stance remains that we need more time for a thorough investigation. In the meantime, we've come up with a proposition for you." Dr. Williams and Jennifer exchanged weary glances. "What kind of proposition?" Jennifer asked. Mr. Kent leaned forward, steepling his fingers. "We are prepared to offer you a substantial amount of money in exchange for your silence on this matter. We believe this will allow us to continue our work without causing unnecessary alarm." The room fell silent. Dr. Williams felt a cold chill run down his spine. "You want us to keep quiet and let this drug stay on the market, potentially harming more pets?" he asked incredulously. Mr. Kent nodded slowly. "In essence, yes. We need time to rectify the issues without jeopardizing the company's reputation and financial stability. We will compensate you generously for your cooperation." Jennifer's eyes narrowed. "We need a moment to discuss this." she said, her voice tight. They stepped out of the conference room into a nearby hallway. There's no way we can accept this, she whispered fiercely. We have to protect the animals, not take the hush money. I agree, Dr. Williams replied without hesitation. But if we outright refuse now, who knows what lengths they might go to silence us. We need to think strategically. After a moment's thought, they returned to the room. We need time to consider your offer, Dr. Williams said evenly. We'll give you our decision tomorrow. The executives nodded, satisfied for the moment. Dr. Williams and Jennifer left the building, their minds racing. We need to report this immediately, the doctor said once they were safely back in his car. But we also need to protect ourselves. They spent the rest of the day gathering all their documentation and evidence, making multiple copies and securing them in various locations. They contacted a trusted lawyer and explained the situation. By evening, they had filed a report with the authorities and were preparing to sue Animal Health Incorporated for negligence and endangering public health. The lawsuit was filed first thing the next morning. The news spread quickly, and Animal Health Incorporated was immediately placed under intense scrutiny. Authorities launched an investigation, and the media caught wind of the scandal, plastering it across headlines nationwide. As the legal battle went on, Dr. Williams and Jennifer found themselves under immense pressure. Animal Health Incorporated employed a team of top-notch lawyers and public relations experts to combat the allegations, but Dr. Williams and Jennifer had truth on their side, and they were unwavering in their commitment. In the following weeks, their lives turned upside down. They faced harassment, intimidation, and threats, but despite the fear and uncertainty, their resolve only strengthened. They continued to speak out, granting interviews and sharing their findings with the public. Gradually, the tide began to turn. Other veterinarians and researchers came forward with their own concerns about the drug, adding weight to Dr. Williams and Jennifer's claims. Public support swelled as pet owners shared stories of their own pets suffering. Under mounting pressure, Animal Health Incorporated was forced to issue a recall of the medication and halt its sales. The company's stock plummeted, and several executives resigned in disgrace. The legal case dragged on, but with each passing day, it became clear that Dr. Williams and Jennifer had made the right choice. Months later, they received a significant settlement from Animal Health Incorporated. The money was used to establish a foundation dedicated to the safety and well-being of pets, funding research and ensuring that similar incidents would never happen again. Through the ordeal, Dr. Williams and Jennifer's partnership only grew stronger. They had faced a formidable foe and emerged victorious, not just in the courtroom but in the court of public opinion. As they looked back on their journey, they felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had stood up for what was right, even when it was difficult, and thanks to them, countless pets would enjoy more time with their owners. What a shocking turn of events. Would you have taken the hush money or gone ahead to sue the pharmaceutical company like Jennifer? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video.